Right. I've been struggling, which I mentioned in that last video. If you hadn't seen it, I kind of just went over how I've been struggling mentally for the last like 6 months or so, and I basically went on to say I don't really know why, or at least I wasn't sure on why, and that's a lie. I sort of know, well, I know a factor of to why that I've been feeling this way, but I didn't want to admit it. Lying's probably the wrong word. I just didn't come clean, if that's any different. I've been struggling with addiction, with a gambling addiction, for quite a while, for like just over a year. Now, granted, some people struggle with it for a lot longer and to a much higher extent. But everyone's struggles is their own struggle. Do you know what I mean? So whether I lost my house or I lost a couple grand, it's there's levels to it. I understand that, but it's still something that I've struggled with. And addiction is a very serious thing to deal with, and it's hard, and it's very, very hard. And I'd only recently just come to this conclusion that I need to fucking stop. And I thought, this was literally like 2 days ago or 3 days ago now. I was like, I'm done. I have to stop, because I could feel it spiraling. And a lot of it was genuinely causing self-hatred, because I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't stop myself from doing it. It got to that point where I didn't enjoy doing it anymore. And you know how the advert's like, oh, when the fun stops, stop. I didn't stop, and I couldn't stop, and I genuinely felt like I couldn't. I couldn't control it. It was bad. Now, like I said, there's levels to it. Some people lose their houses, some people lose their cars, some people are hundreds of thousands of pounds in debt. It's not like that. I wasn't enjoying it, and it was genuinely, like I said, sort of like bringing on some sort of self-hatred, and that's not fun, at all. And obviously I mentioned in that last video, it got to a point where I didn't like who I was becoming, and this is all stemming from this, on top of everything else, and it's just fuel that got added to the fire, and it made it worse. 3 days ago now, I think, I decided to quit. I deleted everything off my phone. I unfollowed all the accounts and pages and people I used to follow who would talk about it, and tipsters and Telegram group chats and shit like that. I deleted all of it. I cleared my phone from it. And I was told by a few people who I'd spoken to about it once I quit that I should talk about it for a few reasons. One, it's just being truly me. It's being who I am, being open and honest with you guys, which is the whole point of this, which I want. Two, it might help someone in the same or similar scenario. And three, accountability. If it's self-accountability, is that a word? Self-accountability? It holds myself accountable, right? If you guys know that I've quit, I feel if I do relapse or then go and put a bet on, I have not only let myself down, which is the main thing, but I've also let other people down. So there's many reasons why I do want to talk about it, and I feel like it is a good idea to talk about it. Now, I am going to go train in this video, so if you don't want to hear any of this is already like first 5 minutes of the video, feel free to just go skip to the training bit. I started just placing bets on football, because I love football. I always have loved football, and I love watching it, and I thought, I think this would be quite fun. Go on then. And I remember I'd never really win, because I'd be doing the like £10 for like 2 grand, 3 grand. I'd never really win. And then one day I did win. I won, I think I put £15 on, and I won 3.5k. So this stems back to prep. For the prep that I pulled out of earlier in 2025, right? So when I made a video on my channel, if you scroll back, there's a video that's how much does prep cost, and I go over like the flights to Sweden, booking the shows, the hotel, the Airbnb. I made that video, and then I won the bet like a week later, and I paid for all of it with that one bet. I paid for my flight, Lucy's flight, videographer's flight, all 3 of our hotel rooms, all of my show fees, all of my like tanning and registration fees and stuff like this, everything got paid for off one bet. And I felt that's when it fucking hooked me in, right? Of course it would. I just flipped £15 into $3.5 grand. And mate, there's not a high like it, I'll tell you that. So I kept going. I kept going. Eventually, you know, I got bored of doing the £10-15 ones because, you know, they rarely hit. So I started up in the stakes, got a little bit more exciting. I think I won a few more. They weren't anything huge, but I won a few more, couple £100 off 20 off 30. And then I was like, right, let's start going to £50 stake. We'd put £50 on a bet. We could put £50 on a bet. We're not winning. Then all of a sudden, September, October last year, was it August, September, October? I think that around that time of year, right? It was definitely September, October were my two biggest months, right? Now, I'm not saying this to be like, obviously I'm not saying it to promote gambling. This whole video is about me quitting. In September, I won about £5 in bets. And then in October, included, because I had a fucking sick month with coaching that month as well. I remember this, right? Gambling and coaching in October alone was £11,000. That's the most amount of money I've earned in a month ever, right? And fuck me, it came at the perfect time because we just moved into our new house. We needed to furnish it. We needed to buy a lot of the stuff that we lost from the house flooding, like new clothes, new wardrobes, new bedding, all of this shit. Those couple wins in September, October, funded the move, funded the furnishing, funded the first 2 months of rent or something, loads of bills, everything got paid off for like that. And I genuinely, this is where my mind was so warped. I was genuinely like, I could do this full time. I could do this for a living, and then coach on the side. Yeah, like thinking about it, talking about it out loud, genuinely makes me see how fucking twisted it was. I cannot see for the life of me. It wasn't good. It really, really wasn't good. And I got to a point where I was so hooked on it, it became all-consuming. My whole day, my whole week, my whole month was based around football. I couldn't bodybuild properly. I didn't bodybuild properly. I wasn't training hard. I was barely going into the gym. I wasn't eating properly because all I was thinking was, when is the next bet? What are the best odds? What can I do? I'm sat there doing research. I'm signed up to fucking statistic websites. I'm signed up to multiple Telegram group chats, which I pay for, to get tips, to get fucking stat packs sent over to me so I can see who can do what foul and who can get how many shots on target and which team should win this, and score lines, over 2.5 goals, shit like this, right? I was paying all of it, and I was invested. I was fucking invested, man. And after those months of September, October sort of time, when I won a lot, it started to really dry up, and my luck turned. Oh wait, actually, hold on. Before that, I might as well talk about all of it, right? Before that, so this was right after my birthday. I just won £4 on the Champions League. I had 2 ACCAs on, both for £2 return. They both won. What the fuck? What an amazing night. Brilliant. I then click the little fucking roulette button at the bottom of the page. I was like, look, the luck's in my favour. Let's test it. I win 1.5k on roulette in like, I've got the screenshot, in 7 minutes, because it tells you how long you've been on there for, like up here, and then up here it tells you how much profit you've made playing. And in 7 minutes it was 1.5k. It was like 1,500 and something in 7 minutes. Wow, what a night, amazing. Stop there. Awesome. I literally turned my phone off. I didn't delete the app. I closed the app and I turned my phone off. I went upstairs and I was like to Lucy, I was like, look, I just made 1.5k. This is sick. Amazing, cool. I've just got $5.5 in one night. My brain would not switch off, right? We're in bed. Lucy's fast asleep. I'm trying to sleep. I can't. My brain's telling me, go again, build it up, play more. That's genuinely all I could hear in my head. So I was like, fuck it, go on then. Get my phone out, I'm lying in bed. I'm like under the covers so Lucy doesn't wake up and see me. Ignore that. I'm like under the covers so Lucy doesn't wake up and see me playing. So I'm hiding it, which is already a bad thing, right? I keep playing, I build it up from, bear in mind, so I'm not going to count the 4K from football. So I'm £1,500 up already from roulette alone. Continue playing, I get another 1.5K up. I'm like, I've just made £3,000. Sick, in one night on roulette. I was like, let me build the total, including the football, to like around 10K, and then I'll call it a day. That's all I wanted to do. Boom, as soon as I started saying that in my head, I started losing. I started losing. Immediately, that 3K just from roulette was already gone. So now I was playing with the 4K that I'd won on football. So I was back to square one already. Oh, I'm not back to square one. Square one's zero, right? But I'm back to where I started on roulette. I'm like, look, I've got 4K here. At least get the 1.5 that I won downstairs before we all went to bed. Lost. Within the matter of 15 minutes, all the money had gone. If that, it was probably shorter than that. All the money was gone. So that night, I went from placing two £50 bets, so £100 went into the account. I got it up to 4K, then I got it up to 5.5K, and then I got it up to 7.5K, and then it was boom, zero. All gone. I'd never ever felt that in my life. It's probably the most painful feeling I've ever experienced. Like I was just purely fucking angry at myself. I hated myself, which is such a fucking strong like term, but like it was full on self-hatred, and that lasted for weeks. All I could think about. Money was a little bit low as well after that, so every time I was like, I don't know if I can afford this, I'm thinking, well, I had fucking £7,000. I had this. If I couldn't do this, if I just stopped, I would have had this money. Every time, I just kept going back to, and I kept dreaming about it as well, which is bad as well. So I was just blaming myself, which I should have because it was my fault. But yeah, so that's roulette, and then obviously luck kept going and getting worse and worse and worse on the football, and I was spending, upping the stakes, trying to get fucking money back, trying to dig myself out the hole, which I was inevitably just making the hole deeper. And yeah, it got bad. Then, this was 2 weeks ago. I hadn't won a bet in good couple months. I put a tenner on 16 games. So an ACCA, an accumulator, or a parlay, if any of you know what they are. It's essentially you pick as many games as you want to be on one bet slip. If one of them fail, then the whole thing fails, right? So they add up the odds, they accumulate a big amount of odds. I think I had 16 or 17 games on there, which is massive and stupid because that's not going to win, hence why I put a tenner. It was just a dreamer. Then 2 games got postponed, so those 2 games, because of the weather, those 2 games got removed from the slip. So the return from a £10 went from, I think it was like 30 grand return, came down to 16K, and then one more game got postponed, so that came down to 7K. So, and I eventually only had, I think it was 12 or 13 games left on this slip, and this is really long, I apologise, I am waffling. But basically I had a tenner on it, I got really lucky, loads of results were coming in, and there were 2 games left. 2 games left, my cash out from a £10, so you can cash out before the bet's done, my cash out was at £2,000. So I could have cashed out for £2,000 from a tenner. What the fuck, that's amazing, right? But the full return, if these 2 games at the end came in, was £7,000. Now, in my head, this is where the addiction thing comes in. In my head, it's, let's win this and then I'll quit. One more win and I'll quit. I'll take this money, it gets me out of the hole, I can pay off some bills, I can do this, I can do that, and I'll quit. And I'll back away from bodybuilding, from gambling. the game that's on. So there's the current game that's playing, and then there's one more the following day. The current game is Chelsea versus Man City. I'm a Chelsea fan. I had Man City to win because Chelsea are shit this year. Man City are winning 1-0 at half-time. Cash out is now at 2,400 or something like that. It stays 1-0. City have nearly scored again. They've nearly scored again. They're wasting chances. I'm like, fucking hell, man. I don't think Chelsea are going to score, but we were up in the pressure a little bit. We just lost our manager. Teams all over the place. I'm thinking, no, we're not going to lose this. It's only 1-0 though. I think we get to like the 90th minute. They add 4 minutes of added time. I'm there. I'm like, fuck, man, I've done it. There's one more game to go tomorrow, and then I've won £7,000 from Tenor. That's a 700 to 1 odd. They add 4 minutes. Right? We get to 91st minute, 92nd, 93rd. Chelsea score on the 94th. It's 1-1. Bet's gone. Cash out just before we scored was at £2,800. So I could have cashed out. Bear in mind, I had Lucy sat next to me going, cash out, cash out. I was like, no, I'm not cashing out. The game's done. Like, there's 30 seconds left. I'm not cashing out. Boom, Chelsea score. Bet's gone. That, yeah. That one hurt. That one really, really fucking hurt. Yeah, and you'd think that's where I probably stopped, and it isn't where I stopped. I continued to go. I continued to play. Again, started upping the stakes again because I wanted a big return. I wanted one last win to get me out, and then I'm done, and I'll quit. That win never came, and it kept going, and kept going, and kept going. And then there was literally 3 days ago, I had a bet on, and it failed so quickly, so fucking quickly. It was finished for me, and I had to stop. I knew it. I knew what I was doing, and I knew it was wrong, and I had to stop. So in that moment, I deleted everything. I closed all the apps. I closed my subscriptions to everything. I unfollowed everyone on Instagram for the football stuff, and I've downloaded a sobriety app to like track how long I can go. I'd be lying if I said these last few days have been easy, because they haven't been. They've been actually pretty fucking difficult. And that might sound silly to some, because it's like, oh, it's just placing a bet on football. When it was all consuming for that long, I sit here, when I'm not eating or training or doing client work, I'm sat here and I'm thinking, like, what do I do? Because I'd normally be sat here fucking researching, fucking building an ACCA, looking at the odds. I'd spend hours every day doing it, watching the football, making sure it was all coming in, and now it's just like a void. And I know if I can get through these first like 3 weeks, I'll be sound. I'll be calm, and then we can move on, and we can continue just cracking on without thinking about it, hopefully. But it's been hard. It's been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this is way too. This is 19 minutes of me sat here talking. I appreciate you if you've sat here and listened to that. We're gonna go train. I've got a back session today. We're just doing back today, and then tomorrow we're coming in for like arms and delts and top up basically. So let's go fucking train. We've got pre-workout. I've already drank, and I've been sipping on a Monster. It's way too late to be drinking a Monster, but I don't really care. Intro workout, we've got highly branched cyclic dextrin and elite aminos from ESN. That's also something I haven't mentioned in this whole time that I have been missing from YouTube. I'm a sponsored athlete with ESN. I will go over everything in these next few videos. But a massive shout out to ESN, and if you do want to support me, code CON. And that money won't go on gambling, I promise. So we're gonna go train. I appreciate you if you did listen to me, and I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you bearing with me. It's going to be a difficult challenge for me, but it's a challenge I want to smash. So let's get back to bodybuilding properly now, and win some shows later this year. So we'll go train, and carry on with the rest of the video. Okay. So I haven't been training for the last couple months properly. I lost quite a lot of strength. So this is like the road to building my strength back to where it was. And it's humbling, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, we lost a fair bit of strength whilst not training as hard as we could back whilst I was like out of the gym fully, and that's where it was like a vicious cycle, because I knew not going to the gym was obviously detrimental to what I wanted to do, bodybuilding, but then I'd go back into the gym, I wouldn't be as strong, and I'd just be defeated. I'd just be like, fuck this, or I didn't look as big as I once did, and I was like, fuck this, and it was just a cycle that didn't help. So we're on the road to getting my strength back and getting me back on track. So starting off with T-bar rows, obviously, as you've just seen. We've got one more working set on there. This isn't a long session. This is a 6 movement session, I think. So it's not crazy long. It's just pure back. So one more working set on the T-bar row. We'll probably do 3.5 plates, drop it by a plate, go for a little bit more volume on that. Then we'll move to the next movement, which is like a neutral grip pull down. We use like the prime handle thing, you'll see. All right. So obviously we did the like neutral grip prime pull down. We did 2 working sets on that. Now we're onto like a chest supported row, another chest supported row. I'm using the Life Fitness one. I really fucking like this one. Obviously we did the upper back sort of row variation with the T-bar at the beginning. So with this row, obviously another chest supported row, we're going in with a neutral grip on this one. The way that this one moves with the neutral grip, genuinely so fucking nice when it starts here and it like ends here rather than like up here. it like curves down. It's fucking fantastic, great for the lat. It's just a really nice row. Feel it really well in my back, so we'll rinse it. So yeah, we'll do 2 working sets on this. Like I said, it's a very simple back day. It is the second back session of the week, so there's no like heavy pull from the floor. That's in the other session. There's just a good few rows, a pull down. I think it's a shrug, Smith machine shrug, and then some like rear delt on the reverse pec deck. That is it. And then obviously we have the other back day for the other shit. So granted, you haven't seen any of the other training, so this might just look like a really shit session. So bear with me, stick with me, and wait for the other videos. But this is yeah, Life Fitness chest supported run, neutral grip. Okay, I didn't film the shrugs, I just completely forgot, but we did 2 sets on Smith machine shrugs, that, and then we finished off on just some reverse pec deck rear delt. So nice and simple, nice and easy session. I'm still getting used to filming in the gym again, so bear with me and the videos will slowly improve. The main thing about this video is obviously just the talking at the beginning. And if you did watch it and you did listen to all of it, I appreciate you. Even if you just listened to some of it, I appreciate you. We're going to go into the rest of 2026 a much better me, a much better version of me. And we're going to set out to achieve some big things, man. I mentioned, obviously, we're looking to compete later this year. I've got shows planned. I've got shows in mind. We'll be going for the back end of the year, which I'll do a video about which shows and when and where and all of that, and the plans when they're fully set in stone. There's one show that's fully set in stone, and then the others we're kind of just waiting to see. But yeah, I think I'll probably leave the video there. If you do want to see any sort of specific content, then please do drop a comment down below and let me know, or message me, or if you wanted to talk about maybe you being in the same or similar position to what I am with my gambling thing. My DM's are always open. You can message me about it. It might help you talking and probably help me talking. So if you want to, my DMs are open. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. And it won't be that long until the next one. So see you in the next video.